Code SYN is one of the newest games coming out of Tencent, the massive Chinese developer guys that owns, or publisher I should say, that owns a number of different companies, that being like Riot Games and Epic Games, and also has, interest as well as owns massive stakes in some of these other big companies and corporations as well in the gaming industry. And with that, Code SYN, in my opinion, guys, from what we saw of like the new games that are coming out from Tencent, this was the most intriguing to me. And what I wanted to go ahead and do is give you guys my top 5 things that I want to see in Code SYN. And when I say we, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys my opinions here. I know some of you may agree, some of you may disagree with what my things are that I want to see in Code SYN. Let me know what yours are in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So guys, this Code SYN, being a cyberpunk styled type of game, reminds you a lot of elements of Cyberpunk 2077. Of course, it's obviously looks like somewhat of a spiritual successor, or it's kind of taking, a kudos from Cyberpunk 2077, but it definitely has its own flavor. Instead of having more of a realistic feel, it's got more of a toy look, or kind of more of a, animated kind of style that they have with all the vehicles as well as the characters and such. And so the first big thing for me, guys, at number 1 is one thing I really want out of Code SYN is I want it to be itself. I don't want it to be trying to copy and paste what made Cyberpunk 2077 and what I believe is going to make Cyberpunk 2077 a massive success. I think it's going to be, it needs to be its own thing. Be yourself. Don't try to, kind of copy and paste things from other games within the cyberpunk style and, try to call them your own. I think they need to have, things that are going to be maybe a little bit similar, but things that are going to be different from the gameplay, the mechanics and things of that nature, I think are really important. So at number 1, guys, just be yourself. Number 2 for me is I want to see a campaign here. Now, from what we know so far, a lot of these things, it doesn't sound like there's most likely going to be a fully fleshed out campaign. Sounds more of like a multiplayer experience. However, it looks like this could be a world that definitely has a campaign, or at least, character missions and such that you get to learn more about the characters. This looks like such a vast and immersive world, similar to that of Cyberpunk 2077, and so I would love to be able to explore it in a major way and be able to kind of learn about these characters and have a fully fleshed out campaign. I think that's going to be really important moving into this next, moving into this title. And, I think that's going to also help separate Tencent's version of Cyberpunk away from CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk. So with that, I just would really like there to be some form of campaign here in, of course, Code SYN. Coming in, guys, at number 3. We alluded to it, that being multiplayer as well as co-op. I think I would love to see multiplayer elements here, which is what this sounds like it's going to mainly be. But I also want to see co-op elements. I want us to be able to, play with our friends, maybe have co-op missions, being able to play some PvE as well as some PvP. I would like there to be a number of different game modes that you're able to play. The customization and such in this game looks pretty, spot on. Like there's just a lot of options here for your characters, as far as, what you're able to do with your character as far as customization goes. So I think that would be awesome, being able to see what your friends are doing and what other people around the world are doing in the multiplayer perspective as well as the co-op. I want to see earnable items as well as maybe some payable items, like the earnable items you can earn within the game and just progressing as you go. And you can kind of show those things off to your friends as well as to other people out there. Coming in, guys, at number 4. I also kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but having that open world setting, being able to explore the world as we want. I want to see a full open world here with Code SYN. I really want to see us be able to dive into this game and be able to explore. Even if we're talking just from a multiplayer perspective, where you can go into the matches and as you please, or if this is going to be kind of like a GTA Online style where you're able to explore and such and do things with your friends. It's hard to say what direction they're going here, but I'd like to have a full open world where we're able to explore, be able to go into shops, go into different places, and do the things that we want, which it looks like there's definitely possibility and potential there if they decided to do that. And then last but not least, guys, at number 5, I want to see this game kind of take some things that have worked from one of Tencent's other games, which is Fortnite, which obviously is Epic Games, but Tencent owns Epic Games. So I'd like to see them take something from Fortnite here with Code SYN, that being multiple updates, consistently evolving the world, not like as drastic as what, you know, Epic Games does with Fortnite, but consistently updating and kind of making this game, you know, a living, breathing space that we can just kind of dive into, and there's always new things that we can do along the journey of playing Code SYN. And I think that's something that Tencent very well may be looking at doing. I'm hoping that's the case. I think this game has something special written all over it, guys, from a customization perspective, from it just looking different than that of Cyberpunk 2077. I think Cyberpunk 2077 is now going to start almost a new genre, so to speak, of other companies jumping into the cyberpunk space and, you know, making their, you know, kind of doing their version on cyberpunk, similar to what is happening with companies doing their take on, say, Battle Royale and such. So we'll see what happens, guys, but at the end of the day, I just want there to be similarities but also differences with Code SYN to other, you know, to Cyberpunk 2077 and games like it. And I want this to be a full package deal here. We'll have to wait and see, and I'll give you guys all the updates as more information comes out. Let me know, though, what are the things that you want to see in Code SYN? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Code SYN content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.